It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. A taxi driver has described how helpless he felt after finding a young father by the side of the road at Whitebridge with horrific burns. It's believed Wade Still was deliberately set on fire on Oakdale Road early yesterday morning, the 23-year-old managing to tell authorities before he died that he knew his killers. Taxi driver James Madden has told 7 News there was little he could do for the young victim.
Screaming at the top of his lungs. I'm dying, he's screaming. It's terrible. He was very burnt, blistered, and very little clothing left on him.
The massive salt ash bushfire, which has burnt through more than 2,040 hectares, is now officially listed as contained. It comes as the official bushfire danger period in the Lower Hunter and Lake Macquarie is pushed forward to September 1 due to the very dry conditions. It means landowners will need a permit to light a fire. Meanwhile, wildlife support groups are trying to assess the impact of the salt ash fire on the local koala population. Much of their habitat around the Tilligary Peninsula has been destroyed in the blaze. The Upper Hunter has been found to be the most affordable LGA in regional New South Wales to live. That's according to a new report from Newcastle-based Compass Housing, who are pushing for a national housing plan amid some worrying results. The median amount of weekly income residents of Port Stephens and Lake Macquarie are spending on rent equates to almost 35%. Martin Kennedy from Compass Housing says we're better off than most big cities, but many families are struggling.
The results across the board were quite striking. I mean, there's parts of the country where a typical renting household would literally need tens of thousands of dollars of extra income each year to avoid housing stress. Thankfully, that is not the case in the Hunter, but there are still pockets where the median income of your typical renting household is not enough to keep them out of housing stress.
The trial of a former Catholic school teacher accused of sexually abusing students has begun in Newcastle District Court. Ted Hall worked at St Pius X at Adamstown during the 1970s and 80s. It's alleged he abused 11 boys at the school, his Merriweather units and on school camps. The 68-year-old has pleaded not guilty. The trial is expected to run for 4 weeks. Hunter residents locking horns with a business or seeking a refund are set to benefit from new fair trading laws. The Fair Trading Commissioner will now have the power to force traders to replace, repair or refund goods quicker than ever before. Parliamentary Secretary for the Hunter, Scott McDonald, says there's a lot of help available.
If you've got a matter that's, say, a value of something between $25 and $3,000, the New South Wales Fair Trading Commissioner can give a direction to the business to rectify the goods or services. So if we can get them resolved quickly, this will cost very, very little. So that will also be an incentive to get the dispute resolved very quickly.
2NURFM Sport.
Newcastle Knights 5/8 Connor Watson is expected to make his return from injury when they face the Cronulla Sharks this Sunday. Watson hasn't played since the side's 30-24 win over the Titans after suffering a torn groin. However, Knights physical performance manager Tony Ayoub says he's training well and will be ready this weekend.
He's been working really hard with Trav and Phil and Luke, the rehab area, and he's doing really well. So we expect him to do a full training session tomorrow, and then we'll reassess it, and hopefully, he'll be able to take his place this week.
Newcastle Jets winger Joey Champness will have surgery in Sydney today to insert pins into his broken foot. The forward is now facing 4 months on the sidelines, but the Jets could have a ready-made replacement in former Melbourne Victory flyer Mitch Austin. Austin, who's returning from a knee reconstruction, trained with the Jets yesterday and will be assessed over the week. And Newcastle junior Bridge Ingray is representing Jack Newton Junior Golf at the South Pacific Junior Open, currently being played in Noumea. And the winning numbers in Monday Lotto are 43, 1, 2, 10, 17 and 44, and the supplementaries are 19 and 30. 2NURFM News Time, 26 to 9.